Hello, how's it going? Welcome to this special little video for Easter weekend. It's Good Friday today, and I've decided to do Tubi Terrors. So I'm going to be going through Tubi, scouring the whole platform. It's a free platform and it's now available in the UK. Has been for about a year, maybe a little bit less than a year. Used to be US only in Canada, I think, maybe some other countries, not too sure. Anyway, I do use it quite often when I stream. I mean, you know, I'm a big physical media guy. Obviously, like I mainly watch my kind of discs, but when I fancy something different on streaming or something I haven't got on physical or can't obtain on physical, I go to sites like Tubi, and I use the app through my Fire Stick, which you can get it on Amazon Fire Stick. You know, you can download the Tubi app, create a free account. It does have ads, but in its defense, the ads aren't actually that distracting or misplaced. So you'll probably get one at the beginning. It tells you how long the ad's going to be on for, the duration, and then you might get a couple in the middle of the film, but they're usually only for about like 20-30 seconds. And I find, because it's a really good free platform, it kind of has to have ads, so I kind of accept that because it basically helps fund the free platform where I can watch some cool movies, and you can too. So I thought I'd just do something a bit different. Don't cover streaming much on this channel, and let's have a look. I do use it often, as I said. I'm going to be looking at some things I haven't seen, some stuff to maybe put in a watch list for me. I haven't signed into my account. I'm not going to. I'm just going to look on their sort of Tubi website where you can actually stream from directly, as well as getting the app. I couldn't get the app on my iMac though. It didn't have it in the App Store for the iMac. I do have it on my phone though. It was in the mobile Apple App Store. So just started, I'll get on with it a little bit. So it's not just horror, but they do kind of specialise in a lot of horror. You know, they have some oldies, they have niche stuff, a lot of crazy found footage movies you may not have seen, things like that, a lot of indie stuff, a lot of good stuff, a lot of hidden gems, as well as rubbish. This one I'm going to try and recommend some ones that I've found or know of to be kind of like little bit hidden gems, you know, my sort of like take on it. Obviously straight away when I'm on recommended, you get anger management. I'm not going to talk too much about that because this is covering the horror films, but it's a fun comedy. It's not too bad. It's got Jack Nicholson in it, Adam Sandler. I think I watched that last year at some point. Straight away it recommends Terrifier 2. This is a good one for Tubi. Yeah, I need to pause that so it doesn't. I need the synopsis. There we go. Terrifier 2, and even as the first one, because look, you've got You May Also Like. And yeah, good to see Terrifier 2 on there. Solid movie, really good Art the Clown adventure outing. Ups the ante with the gore and the violence from the first film, which is very graphic in itself. I'm a bigger fan of the first film personally. I like its linear, streamlined approach. But the second one's bigger and better, high production value. It's very long though, at 2 hours and 19 minutes, but worth the duration, worth sitting through that duration. There's a good one, Terrifier 2. It has Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Not a very good film, really, but kind of like a cool idea, taking the Winnie the Pooh, character and the characters around him, the lore of Winnie the Pooh, since it went public domain, and making a horror movie out of it. The second one, which is also on Tubi, Winnie the Pooh 2, Blood and Honey, is a big improvement, like, to the first one. It's got more characters in it, Tigger Owl, and yeah, it's a little bit better. You only get Piglet and Pooh in the first one. Slumber Party Massacre, there's a good one right there. I'd say that's a little gem on Tubi, classic slasher. Really good one. I'll have a little click on that, make sure I pause it, because I don't want to get hit with any violations or what have you. You know what YouTube's like. Slumber Party Massacre from 1982, 1 hour 17 minutes. Typical kind of like babysitter slasher, you know, about these high school girls having a slumber party, and this killer, the Driller Killer, not to be confused with Abel Ferreira's Driller Killer movie, is on the prowl, and he is looking for them to become his victims. Yep, good one for Tubi. I wasn't quite aware that one was on here, so let's get this video that I'm doing. I'll probably go for about 20 minutes total. Let's get this a little more focused. I'm just going to make sure we're still recording. Yep, we are. And let's actually look through the genres. So we'll pick out in the horror genre and go that way. So it has a browse feature there. Genres. That needs to stop. I need to just turn the sound down a sec and stop this movie. No. Right, there's that. Right, sound. So if I do that, there shouldn't be any more interruptions and pause yourself. Right, okay, so even has Candyman, not exactly a hidden gem, it's a known gem, but that's a good one. See if I can put that, no, okay. Let's have a look at the horror, because that is what this is about. It's Tubi Terrors, cool little concept for a video. Just a quick recommendations video. I'm just going to scour through briefly, talk about some of them. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, one of the greatest horror movies ever made. Absolutely just soaked in tension, mystique. It really elevates the creeper character. I'm just joking, awful. Jeepers Creepers Reborn is atrocious. And the sort of backdrop for some of the scenes that basically is like a sort of basic CGI generation or what have you, just looks awful. It's like a green screen. It doesn't fit into the movie. It's not a very good attempt at using that technology to create a scene as well. Didn't like Jeepers Creepers Reborn at all. It's obviously an American-made film, and you've got you can notice some of the Americans putting on British accents, because they kind of very subtly, by accident, I imagine, they slip in and out of accents on certain words. You can kind of tell. I know it's no easy feat taking on board a whole another character to play as an actor from a different region, but they kind of like slip in and out of accents slightly. I do remember noticing that on Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Awoken, don't know what this one is, not too sure. Looks kind of interesting. Behind You, never seen that. Look Away is quite a good film. I don't remember too much about it. I think it's about like a troubled girl and the thing she goes for, but I did think it was quite a good kind of like just a little kind of like slow burn horror story. Like The Headhunter's cool. That's just a short one. I do have the Blu-ray of that. It's pretty much set in kind of like a fantasy realm, but with like kind of like a scary kind of dark twist on it. And basically it's not got many characters. You've got this headhunter guy who's a monster hunter. He collects their heads once he has slayed them in his chambers and keeps them on his shelves. But it's not bad. It didn't exactly blow me away, but it is a good little horror film. You know, like especially like the whole idea of it's really cool. The Headhunter could actually have a cool sequel if somebody fleshed it out a bit more, perhaps made the film 20 minutes longer, put a few more characters in and some more monsters to slay. That'd be a very interesting idea for a sequel. But I suppose it's a small, more independent film per se. It's probably not going to get that, but still, you got Saw on there, the classic Saw, Saw 3, Here Alone, The Resort. Just going to scan through. Here you go. Here's some heavy hitters. Here's some absolute gems. You've got Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I Have the Arrow Video. I've never watched the sequel actually. Elvira's Haunted Hills. I need to get around to that, but it's a good one for Tubi. Obviously, you'll get your quick ad at the beginning and a couple throughout the film, but like I said, Tubi's not too let's say domineering with the advertisements. They tell you how long the ad's going to be on for, and it's pretty quick. The Owners, I thought it was all right. Obviously, it stars I forget her name now. Is it like Maisie Williams or something? The girl from Game of Thrones. She's in there playing a bit of like a sort of chav character with this gang of guys, and they basically are trying to rob this old couple, and then it turns out that the old couple are absolute whack jobs and imprison them in their house, and she's got to try and escape. So she starts off kind of like as a dislikable character, but kind of becomes the final girl in The Owners. Not too bad, didn't love it. You got House of the Devil. As far as like atmosphere goes, this film's fantastic. I find it a little bit slow burn. I do like a good slow burn if I'm in the mood. However, as much as I like House of the Devil, especially aesthetically and the whole 80s vibes it has, I do find it a little bit slow. The little twist in it, like the ending's pretty cool. It's kind of easy to see that coming, and but it's a good one, House of the Devil, and I will be getting the second sight, limited edition Blu-ray. Also from the same director, I like how they've lined them up together, from Ty West, is The Innkeepers. This is kind of another good like little slow burn, quirky horror. A good one, The Innkeepers. Basically, you don't kind of see the reveal of the entity until the end. It's quite subtle, but it has got some sort of creepy atmosphere, few comedic elements, basically about these hotel staff at a haunted hotel who kind of work together, this guy and this woman, and it's pretty good one from Ty West. That one. You got Hellraiser Bloodline, need to watch the 4K of that at the Arrow set. Curse of the Mayans. That they've used the Guardians of the Galaxy font. God knows what that is. Never seen Happy Death Day. How? That's not a bad British werewolf movie. Yeah, not bad at all. Basically set on a train that's stuck in on the tracks in the kind of middle of nowhere, and yeah, werewolves are coming and the passengers have to fight them off. I like Howl. It's pretty good. We've got Final Girl. Never watched that. I don't think. I might have seen it. I'm not sure. Pulse. I've never watched. I think that's a Japanese horror. You've got Comedy House. Tale of Two Sisters. This is an absolute gem. I'll actually click on that on. Let me just pause it when it starts. From 2003, 1 hour 55 minutes. Horror, thriller, foreign international. You will have to watch in subtitles. It's used the newly commissioned artwork which they had for the Arrow video released Blu-ray about 3 years ago. I have that edition. But yeah, great one to have on Tubi. You know, it's mysterious. It creates a lot of atmosphere. You know, it's drenched in sort of atmosphere. It's got a good kind of like plot, you know, sort of twist around where you thought it was one thing but it's actually another. And yeah, it's a good good ghostly or is it? It's a good ghostly Japanese one. Tale of Two Sisters. Really like that. Good one for Tubi. There's a gem right there. I don't know if I'll be going over everything, but I'll keep it going for a bit because this is quite interesting. I might stop blabbering on about just the random ones and narrating the video. I liked Missing Couple. Now it is found footage, so it won't be for everybody, but I must say it's not perfect, but the beginning is strong, and it creates a bit of like kind of tension out in the woods and what the hell is going on. Yeah, a young influencer couple set out to renovate an abandoned farm in rural Mississippi, but find the farm itself full of disturbing surprises. I didn't mind that one. Here's another good found footage one, the taking of Deborah Logan. Is she possessed or is she losing her mind? Find out in the taking of Deborah Logan, also known in the UK, I think, as The Taking. Yeah, it's a good one, good found footage kind of mockumentary. This crew go to the house where the older daughter and the mother, Deborah, are living. Is Deborah possessed or is she just losing her mind? It's got some good sort of like horror action pieces in there. And when I say action, I don't mean explosions and stuff. I just mean kind of like chasing Deborah through the woods, and she even ends up in a cave at some point. Another great found footage is Butterfly Kisses. Fantastic film. So I won't spoil too much, but basically these people are making a documentary based on this legend in their local area. They legend states in the film along the lines of this, that the entity, if you look into the tunnel, which is quite long, it has a long stretch to it. If you look down the tunnel, I think I could be slightly off on this, but here's the basic gist. If you look down the tunnel for an hour and do not blink, which is virtually impossible, a sort of silhouette of a kind of character will appear at the end of the tunnel. This sinister guy, kind of reminiscent slightly of like the Babadook's aesthetic. Not exactly a copy or anything, but he's got that kind of vibe to him, this character, you know, this kind of like ghoulish, like fiendish man at the end of the tunnel if you look down it for an hour and don't blink. So what they decide to do is put a camera down, because they think, well, maybe the legend works on a camera too, because the camera's almost like a man-created eye, if you will. So they have the camera filming, and the camera captures a ghostly figure, and it all goes kind of downhill for our leads in the movie from there, as they keep seeing this character, as they're making a documentary about the legend as well. They keep, after filming it for an hour, the tunnel, and watching the playback, they keep seeing this shadowy figure approaching in shots when they've been filming and stuff. He gets closer and closer every time. Very good though, Butterfly Kisses. Good found footage one. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Frogman, that's a good gem on here. Recently had a release from Terrorvision. I have that. I thought Frogman was good. The Frogman himself looks pretty cool. It's got a good scene in it where his tongue extends. He has a huge frog's tongue that extends, and even wraps an body up in it. brilliant. Got the typical kind of backwoods like found footage vibe to it. It's based on a legend of Frogman. This guy who thinks he saw Frogman when he was a child decides to make a movie about it. Takes his friends with him. One of his friends, and he's loving this girl. This woman he wants to be with, and basically they just sort of go on an adventure trying to find Frogman. And yes, they find him, and yeah, they're in for a nasty surprise. And there's some occult inserts as well. There's some references to like an occult kind of theme, which basically worship Frogman. That comes a bit later on in the film. That's quite cool as well. I thought the Borneo incident was average. I didn't really enjoy that one too much. That's a found footage too. How long we've been going for? 15 minutes. So we'll just have a few there's a few gems for you in themselves. I think just Butterfly Kisses, Taking a Deborah Logan, Tale of Two Sisters. There's loads of gems on Tubi. Nefarious, I've heard about that. I wouldn't mind a look. House of Horrors looks like a Mickey Mouse kind of horror movie. I would like to see Screamboat though. The other ones that are coming out I'm not too bothered about. The Love Witch, pretty good film. Very has a very kind of like retro vibe to it. Looks like a movie from the 70s or 60s perhaps. I think it might be even a period piece too. Not seen that one for a while. I'll have to crack out the Blu-ray. What else we got? None of these I've seen. Jeepers Creepers 3 is awful. Here's a good one, and it's kind of hidden, so it does fit this video because it's got the foreign title on there. So this is The Prophecy, starring Christopher Walken. Brilliant sort of like horror film, like set in the desert, creepy kind of desert like aesthetic. Christopher Walken, he plays a fallen angel, the fallen angel Gabriel, a soul he wishes to command to bring on destruction, has been hidden in a little girl who lives out in the desert, and he's doing anything he can to track this soul down so he can grasp it in his clutches. Good film. That's that one is The Prophecy. None of these ring a bell. I'm only kind of talking about ones I can recommend really. There's someone here I would possibly put on a watch list, but it's even got, like we said, got Candyman. Now here's the biggest hidden gem on the video. Not really. American Wolf in Paris, though, I don't hate. I know a lot of people think it's garbage, but I think it's average at best. But it's nothing compared to American Wolf in London. But it's kind of got a few like cool little things about it. Yes, the werewolf looks a bit overly CGI, especially because it's from like 1998, isn't it, or 7 or something, so it's crap CGI really. It's not the best CGI, although some movies they were using some good CGI at that point. Like the original Toy Story was pretty good as far as CGI is concerned, for like one of the first animated movies to use it. But even the Toy Story films look a lot more advanced nowadays. Anyway, why am I talking about Toy Story? Puppet Master, it's good full moon feature. Strippers versus Werewolves, never seen that. The Tunnel, good found footage. That's an Australian one. Creepshow 2, can't go wrong with a bit of Creepshow 2. Brilliant film. I didn't even know they had this. I've got the Severin Blu-ray. I wouldn't mind the 4K. That's Kathy's Curse. Basically, it's sort of a film about a haunting. There's an entity that is possessing Kathy and controlling her, and she's turning against her family, and her dad's got to do whatever it takes to basically rid the house and Kathy's soul of this horrendous entity. It's got some good scary scenes, some good visuals, good creepy kid film. It's from the 70s. Really, Kathy's Curse. If you've not seen it, give it a go at some point whenever you're able to. It's definitely, if you're going to use Tubi, it's all free, so giving Kathy's Curse a go is in nowhere a waste of time, even if you're not as keen on it as say I am. But yeah, very good. Horrors of the Black Museum, oh yeah, that's an oldie. I'll have to check that out sometime. Krampus Origins, no thank you. Monster in the Closet. There's more on here than I thought. When you on the website, when you look through the app, it sort of has sections where they kind of like curate the best of that section or genre but on here there seems to be loads more. I'll do a couple more. The Long Dark Trail I thought was really slow and boring. Here's an absolute, like banger of a recommendation. Messiah of Evil from the 70s. About this creepy coastal town, something's going on, and it's looking like it's looking like they're the living dead. The townsfolk are the living dead, but not in typical gory zombie fashion, more of a kind of slow burn, atmospheric 70s aesthetic. It's dripping in that, and really good though. I have the Radiance Blu-ray. If it gives me the chance, I'll bloody pause it. There we go, pause. So it's from 1974, so kind of early to mid-70s. After receiving unsettling letters from her artist father, a woman travels to a seaside California town to find it governed by a strange undead cult. I think Messiah of Evil is brilliant. If you've never seen it, give it a go. Another good 70s recommendation is I Drink Your Blood, and it even has basket case with the Cool Arrow video artwork. Yeah, Silent Madness I wouldn't mind a look at. I think that's an oldie. I don't know much about it though. Let's just do a couple more before we wrap this little video up. Might have seen bit, not too sure. Even if you're a found footage enthusiast, just my opinion, but avoid The Whispering Man. It's really dull, and it seems like it feels, I don't know this for a fact because I don't know what the creators are thinking, obviously, but The Whispering Man feels like it's just somebody like coming up with an easy concept for a found footage film where they don't even have to create anything necessarily like visually interesting or impactful. It's rather boring. It's people just going, oh god, there's something in my room, and it doesn't even really show you much things. And yeah, I'm all for a bit of ambiguity and not showing the monster completely, leaving it to the imagination, but The Whispering Man just, nah, not for me, thanks. Really just overly uneventful. So there's a bunch of horrors. There is more on here if you go through it, but that was just what's come up on the horror genre section. If you actually look at different sections like thriller, they kind of infuse the horror into that section as well. A few recommendations if you're streaming over the weekend. I'm a physical media guy. I need to get through my Blu-ray 4K watch pile, but I also kind of mix it up with streaming. I might put something on streaming that I can't get on physical, and then I might watch a physical like edition after or before. It's always good to have a look. But Tubi's free anyway. You can get the app on the Amazon Fire Stick or your devices. You'd have to check which ones it's compatible with. You can create an account. If you don't create an account with Tubi, you can't resume movies, so you can watch them again, but if you have an account you can actually like resume where you picked off and whatnot. Happy Easter to all the Skin Crawlers viewers and whoever's watching the video, even if you're not a regular viewer. Have a fantastic Easter. It's Easter weekend. Have a great Good Friday. There's some recommendations. I might do a top pick. Some of my top recommendations from this video, I would say I'll do two. I'm going to say Messiah of Evil. That's one of my best recommendations I've done in this video. And Butterfly Kiss is the found footage one about that legend of the creepy guy at the end of the tunnel, the silhouette. That is a good one. Butterfly Kisses. I hope it gets a great physical media release at some point. I know it has a regular like US Blu-ray, but I'd love to see a kind of like Terrorvision like they did with Frogman pick up Butterfly Kisses or something. Maybe they could do something cool with that, or whomever really. Thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.